Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, so Jack Smith has put together a 2-volume report on his investigations into Donald Trump. One volume deals with the events leading up to the January 6, 2021 insurrection. The second volume deals with the Mar-a-Lago Document case. The Department of Justice basically said they weren't going to release any part of the Mar-a-Lago Documents case at this time. However, they wanted to release the volume that would cover the events leading up to the January 6th insurrection. Judge Eileen Cannon basically made a ruling that neither of those 2-volume reports could be released because reasons. The Trump lawyers made an appeal to the appeals court, the 11th District Appeals Court, trying to stop any release of information, which they denied, but they left in place Judge Cannon's ruling, I might have misstated earlier, which was nothing could be released until 3 days after the appeals court had ruled on all the appeals regarding this case. Appeals regarding this case. Jack Smith's team then filed an emergency filing on Friday night. Yesterday, I record this on Saturday, January 11th at about noontime Pacific, saying, overturned Judge Cannon, she's overstepped her authority. And basically said that Judge Cannon's actions prevent officials from sharing classified documents report, the classified documents report, God, I can't speak today, privately with leaders of the House or Senate Judiciary committees, and that it's plainly erroneous. Quote, the Attorney General is the Senate-confirmed head of the Department of Justice and is vested with the authority to supervise all officers and employees of the department. The Attorney General thus has the authority to decide whether to release an investigative report prepared by his subordinates. The implied thing is not Judge Eileen Cannon. She doesn't get to override what the Attorney General wants. So there's that little bit of drama. Eileen Cannon just keeps giving Donald Trump favor after favor after favor. I cannot imagine she is long for the federal courts. Okay, but let's take a look at the volume reports that are currently being fought over in the appeals court in Georgia, the 11th Circuit District Appeals Court, and see 11th District Circuit. I can't get things right. What's the energy around those? Is this going to get released? Not get released? This is for entertainment purposes only. Foundation reading is the Queen of Cups. Do you keep a lid on it? Do you set it free? Because once the genie's out of the bottle, people are going to know. They're going to know what happened. And then mayhem is going to ensue. So literally, all they're trying to do is delay when people find out about it's more the January 6th insurrection. The Mar-a-Lago Documents case is state secrets, and they're not going to want to release much information on that. They're going to want to keep that hush-hush, all right? But with the insurrection, they absolutely are talking about that. It's going to get out. They can't keep it squelched forever. In the past, you got the Four of Cups. Judge Cannon ruling for Trump again and again and again with just questionable rulings, delaying everything. No, justice delayed is justice denied, and that's an absolute case here. And now we're trying to finally get that justice through there, and yet again, there's more delays. The appeals court's going to weigh the value of this report, the impact on society, but honestly, they have to just look at what the legal ramifications are. That doesn't mean that societal ramifications don't enter into it, but that's not what they're supposed to rule on. They're supposed to rule on the law. Overarching energy, Two of Wands. This is going to proceed. The lesson to be learned is, again, we had 2 volumes going forward. 1 volume is going to get released. We got tumultuousness in the background, and it's going to be the volume that's going to be released is about the tumult. It's not going to be about the secrets. It's going to be about the riot. Oh, there's your card. Outcome is the Sun card. Yes, it's going to be revealed. Okay, so not a real surprise that it's going to get revealed. I think I led off saying that, yes, this is going to get revealed, but the question is when. And the fact that it has the reveal, it kind of implies that it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I got my Groucho Marx Marxist shirt on. I have two Groucho Marxist shirts on. Well, I own two of them. I don't have two of them on right now. Problem when you start getting into that sort of channeling mindset. I can't speak and I can't process. My brother, no, it's really funny. My brother's noticed that too. When we start doing tarot readings, even he's noted how, it's kind of that sharpness that you have remembering facts, that recall, it numbs. Which is why when you watch some readers, they can't all of a sudden remember who the Attorney General is or who the head of Homeland Security is, or the other day I was calling it the July 19th versus January 19th rally for Trump. You just get a little bit numb, and it's almost like you have to kind of snap out of it to get back into the present mind in order to remember those facts. And for the mispronunciations, I will say this: generally speaking, my thought and my vibe on it is that even if you're saying the wrong thing, saying the wrong name, the intention of what you want to read is there. And so you don't necessarily get the wrong answer because you said, I want to read on, J.D. Vance, when you were trying to say you want to read on Chuck Grassley or something like that. It knows what you're intending. Spirit knows what you're intending. All right. For Carter, how quickly will this report get released? Is this going to be done quickly, or is this going to be delayed? What do we get with that? I think. Well, let's see. Here's the debating. It's going to get released because it stands on its own merits. No matter how many lame ass challenges Trump and his team put out there, it's coming out. How quickly? Page of Pentacles, my favorite card in the deck. Sometimes for Trump, it's about the grifting, but it's a new opportunity, messaging about values. The High Priestess, asking questions, getting answers. The Victory card. Again, this is kind of the background around Trump losing the election. And then the grift that goes with it. How interesting. So this card was the overarching energy. I think it's telling me more about this report with the insurrection. There's a lot of information that's going to be released about Biden's victory or Trump's loss, as it were, but also Trump's involvement with grifting. This report's going to have a lot of information about money and the grift that went on with the challenging of the election. Not what I asked. Now, right after I say, Spirit knows what you intend. Yeah, but Spirit doesn't always answer the question. You know what I mean? It's almost as if Spirit's saying, you know what? Who cares when it's get released? This is the part you need to pay attention to. It's going to talk about the grift. You know how even the most cynical people just follow the money, whether they're pro-Trump or anti-Trump, everybody's got that same mantra, just follow the money. Because generally speaking, it's true. Follow the money. The money will lead you to where the truth is. And I think that's what's happening here as well. Even with the my first spread on this one, I had the 7 of coins, all the coins on the bush. That's looking at all the money, following the money trail. All right, maybe we'll ask a different rather than timing. Sorry, they're not giving me timing. I don't feel like it should take long. It really shouldn't. It's. I think the government has a pretty cut and dry argument here, and Judge Cannon doesn't. Because the defense of "'cause I said so," it doesn't work well for parents, and it's going to work even less well for federal judges against appeals courts. When the grifting is made apparent, how will that impact people? I'm more curious about MAGA than anything else, but MAGA doesn't care. So you have to be careful how you say that. So you'd have to be more like Trump supporters who aren't MAGA. That subset of supporters, whoever they are. Now, mind you, will they ever hear about the information? Not if they keep getting their news sources from right-wing media or Russian propaganda or troll farms or Facebook memes, which are all one and the same thing. But let's take a look. How are people going to react that maybe aren't MAGA as far as the grifting comes out? The devil card. It's a Trump reading. Of course this card's going to come out. It's just more corruption. I think I had one. I want to say that. And I'm sorry if I don't have her name. On my video that went out this morning, Saturday morning, it came out at midnight Pacific time. I had one commenter who I did respond to, and I thanked her for commenting, who said she was a former Trumper, and she now basically she's come to terms and realized that Trump was basically a liar, and he's a fascist. It's kind of that reminder to it kicked in my empathy gene again. That, as much as we get frustrated trying to talk with folks on the right, especially folks that have supported Trump, we try and give them facts and we try and reason with them, and then you just get so fed up with them. You want to give them the bird. But understanding that if they're only getting their news from one source, that's what they're going to believe. And maybe part of this is because they want to believe it. It fits, it makes them feel better, it fits their narrative, whatever, but they believe it. You pull them out of that and you put them in another situation where they're getting the other side of the story, and it may take a while before their logic circuits warm up and get back up to speed again, but once they get there, and they recognize who Trump really is. Are they all going to be like that? Hell no, they're not all going to be like that. Too many have drunk too deep from the Kool-Aid, and it's too embarrassing to admit you've been duped. But I will say this, for this person that commented, you are the perfect vessel for acting as a lifeline to other like-minded folks who are starting to get fed up with Trump and need to get pulled out. I'm not that person. I'm just a left-leaning libtard with a Marxist shirt on, They're not going to listen to me. I'm the enemy. But you're not, because you're a pain. And then I'm talking about family, immediate family and extended family, as well as friends. Those are your sphere of influences, and probably a lot of those people are knee-deep in Fox News and Trump and Trumpism. But if you can pull, tell them, yeah, but what about this? What about this? They will hear your words. They may not want to believe them. They may argue with them, and they may throw out stuff. Oh, you just became a member of the woke mob. They'll belittle you. But the fact is that they will actually hear you. And all you have to do is plant those seeds. Water them occasionally. They're going to grow, especially as Trump fails to deliver on the things that they want. When their lives don't miraculously get better because Trump's going to deport 10 million illegal immigrants. First off, he'll never deport them. And then he'll make up excuses why they can't be deported. And all this stuff. And then their lives don't get better. And that creates that gap. And that gap lets light in. And that light hits those seeds that you've watered. And those seeds start to grow. And grow and maybe start to bloom. And maybe during that bloom they pull out. It's a metaphor. Come on down. What was the question again? It was going to be, how is this going to impact non-MAGA. They're going to see his corruption. And they're going to start talking amongst themselves in quiet areas. You know, coffee shop, when they're having coffee with their neighbors or with their friends or their family, they're going to talk about, the grift and the money and everything that seems to be wrong with this guy. The doubts start getting, the seeds of doubt are sown. And it's just a matter of time. The Wheel of Fortune, this one's moving slowly, but it's going to keep going round and round because Trump never changes. Over-promises, under-delivers is the business term for that. And the more time that goes by and the more corruption that is shown with him and the more that he doesn't deliver, the more these seeds grow. The more time we have for those seeds to grow and more seeds are planted. And this is all going to be about American oligarchs and wealth and prosperity. Trump not getting his stuff done. He overpromised, underdelivered. And then you've got the Elon Musks of the world. If Trump gets in and he puts his huge tax break in for the wealthy, how the hell does that help the average Trump supporter? It doesn't. I mean, it does if you're a billionaire. It does if you have, multimillionaire like 100 million or 50 million or even 20 million. Yeah, it helps you out a lot. But if you're not one of those folks, the top 1%, the bottom 99, ain't helping you. Not even a little bit. And as you wait for your life to get better by either punching down on immigrants, and I mean, that might make you feel better or justified, like, yeah, they got their comeuppance. But then all of a sudden you look around and, well, where's my wealth? Where's my prosperity? How come I'm still struggling even after we got rid of the enemy? That self-realization, that self-awareness. Now, again, I know a lot of folks that they're going to throw in the comments are fed up with me at this point. They're going to say they don't have any self-awareness. They don't care. They're selfish. They're stupid. They have no critical thinking skills. They're just evil little trolls and they're dark little hovel holes, and they want to drag everyone down with them. And I get your frustration, but not all of them are like that. And the more people that we can strip off that have been under Trump's spell and strip them off, guess what? They are some of the most dogged, determined, hard-driving people you will ever see. And if you want to push forward a progressive agenda, you need people who are going to put their shoulders to the plow and pull. And what Trump has with that he doesn't appreciate with the folks that support him is he's got all the folks that are willing to get down and drive hard on moral issues. Imagine if they were on your side, instead of trying to push people down, trying to lift them up. That's why you want them. That's why you want to strip them off and get them pointed in the same direction you are. What's left are the whiniest, most self-entitled, victimized people who, sorry to say, they're kind of parasitic. You leave those folks with Trump. The Gravy Seals, the one with all the Patriot flags on their lifted trucks, but they don't actually work. They collect welfare, or they do nothing except whine about their how cruel the world is to them. They aren't the ones. It'd be nice to have them on board, but they aren't the ones that are really going to drive things. So, frustrated as you might be, progress is being made. It's just not at the rate that we want, and we don't get to control that. That's, again, outside of our control. But the kinder you can be for those who've seen the light, the more momentum that will build towards that light. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.